It's been 2 years since we last visited Vancouver International Airport. Now, if there's one constant there, it's change. There's always been an ongoing investment program centrally focused on enhancing the overall customer experience. The investment program remained undiminished last year in spite of the economic downturn. I met up with Susan Stiene just after Vancouver's successful hosting of the Winter Olympics.
Well, Peter, remember about 7 years ago we started this trek. We knew that we were going to be authoring the Olympics here, and we were all excited about that. And so we started with our U.S. departures area. We have increased the amount of retail that's in that zone. We actually moved security in advance of the Customs and Border Protection area, which allowed us to move our duty-free operation post-security. Been very successful. That has helped us out immensely. We took some of the concepts that we tried there with the central retail court and food court, all centered around a water feature, and we moved that then into our international zone with our new duty-free operator. That has been extremely successful. People thoroughly enjoy watching the fish in the aquarium and listening to the rushing water in the riverbed there, and others shopping, and it really has helped immensely with the sales. We then moved into the C Pier departure, which is our biggest pier from a passenger perspective. We serve over 6 million passengers down this pier.
And this is all part of the master plan, isn't it? It's a really significant investment in C Pier.
It was, and it brought us to a new level in this area. Of course, previously, all of our retail and food and beverage was all pre-security from the old days. So we were able to come in and make a new retail zone in this area. This is a very good area for passenger demographics. Most of the people that are traveling down here are senior executives that are on business travel, corporate travel. And so there's a lot of money to be had, to say the least. The sales reflect it. We have done a lot of different retail concepts. We've tried to come into everything from lifestyle retail all the way through to things that you would need every day. And part of that is because we know that the business traveler is a worried business traveler, doesn't have time to be shopping on the weekends. And so this allows them the opportunity when they come through security to spend some time here, get some of the stuff that they would normally, have to purchase on the weekend.
Of course, Retail Dynamic just doesn't stop there. You've actually invested a lot in your pre-security area too.
Yes, which has been really exciting because, of course, the pre-security retail area is for employees, right? And for meters and greeters. And, we've done some changes here to be able to bring meters and greeters out early too so that they want to come. We've given them an environment that is so inviting. You're able to sit in a food court area, enjoy a coffee, and look out onto the airfield and see the aircrafts arriving at the gate. We've actually been able to go out to the market and actually bring in school children as well on field trips, that sort of thing. So it's been really fun.
But the advantage of having that now available is the advent of the Canada line, of course, which has really helped deliver a whole new series of non-travelling passengers.
Yes, Canada line has been fantastic. It takes about 20 minutes to get to downtown Vancouver, which is a time saving, so that's excellent. And it allows people the freedom to come and go from the airport and to treat it as just one of their regular places that they would actually shop.
Well, moving back to retail, if you go back to the international sort of departures area, 50% of the retail there has either been completely revamped or revisited. Are we going to see that sort of change again in the coming years?
Well, I have to say, we've had a lot of time spent with LDS at the table trying to figure out, what is the best type of concepts that we need. Let's tweak these concepts so that we get it right for the customers. And it's worked, and they've spent a great deal of time working with us. We spent a great deal of time surveying customers, understanding exactly what their needs are. One thing about retail is it never stops, right? You need to understand what's happening to the community, what's happening to your demographics. How is the market changing? What are the new concepts out there that people are wanting? So I do anticipate that even in the C Pier here, we will do some tweaking as well.
You've done a lot of tweaking to accommodate the Olympics of late. It's taken up a huge amount of your time. How much have you learned from the Olympic experience?
Oh, I have to tell you, the Olympic experience was absolutely awesome. We were told all sorts of things from different airports. We had airports, Athens, Sydney, Salt Lake City. They all came in to try and help us to come up with the concepts. And we spent a great deal of time from a commercial perspective trying to get it right. And, they told us that duty-free wasn't necessarily going to be the main passion. Well, let me tell you, one of my highlights was being down in that West Chevron and sitting there watching all of these people that were actually dancing by the stream area. They were sitting on rocks, and they all had yellow LDSA bags. It was exhilarating.
I understand that the spend per passenger has been quite staggering in this short period.
Absolutely. We couldn't believe it. Over our main peak days in the summer, we were about a 261% increase in sales. Just phenomenal. I don't know if we'll ever see it again, but it sure would be nice.
You're going to be under pressure from the board now to help
Yes.
start delivering those numbers again. For YVR, it was absolutely crucial that they get their Olympic store program right. I asked Chris Gilliland what were the key elements of its success.
Well, Vancouver International Airport was actually the first airport in the history of the Games to be designated as official sponsor or supplier to the Games. And what this designation gave us the opportunity to was to leverage the use of the Olympic marks, the rings, in all of our communications efforts. And second, and very important, was to create a real engaging, exciting experience here in the airport, including our retail stores here.
How many stores have you got?
We opened 6 official Olympic stores, and that was complemented with 13 retail kiosks. So that allowed us to have Olympic merchandise all 4 corners at the airport. And in addition, all specialty retail stores here at the airport could carry up to 30% of their floor space actually could be allocated to Olympic merchandise.
You've allocated a lot of retail square footage to these stores. Have they paid off?
Very much so. It's been a good investment for our business partners, and we've done very well financially, the Airport Authority. And there also is another party, which is VANOC, which is the organization committee. All the agreements was a tri-party agreement. We also credit the success to being very early into the marketplace with a real strong promotional program in the Vancouver market, communicating the breadth of our retail offer here. And it really paid off, Peter, during the Olympic Games, because at the Superstore downtown Vancouver, it wasn't uncommon to be lined up for anywhere from hour and a half to actually get into the store. So if you think you could take the Canada line out here to the airport, 20 minutes, you can go into any of our stores, which had a great selection of merchandise, and back downtown in less time it would take to get into the store. So we did phenomenally well also that way.
Well, after the Paralympics, you're going to be left with a bit of a retail hole. What are you going to do to fill these positions?
As you can see, all the retail stores are still open. We're just entering into the Paralympic Games right now. And at the end of the month, at the end of March, all the stores will be shut down and they'll be undergoing some renovations. And we have a brand new retail program opening up in time for the summer. So some of the new names that you're going to see here will be Brooks Brothers, will be the first airport in Canada to offer that. Also international, after security, you're going to see Tommy Hilfiger. And another first for us in the domestic will be Lacoste.
I just want to go back to some of the interesting elements that you brought to passengers during the course of the Olympics. And one of them was the pin store, which delivered extraordinary retail figures.
We did very well with the official Coca-Cola Pin Trading Center. There are only 3 pin trading centers in Vancouver, so we were very lucky to have one here. And we built it in collaboration with Coca-Cola and HMS Host. And it was a really good promotional opportunity to bring people together, really connect people, have an opportunity to trade pins, and it was a great opportunity for us to sell merchandise, more pins.
Sue said earlier that you consulted with a number of other airports, authorities that had had prior experience of the Olympics, and you really did take a lot from their respective learnings. You're the most up to date now in terms of your own experience. What would you advise the likes of BAA?
Start planning as early as possible and make sure that you involve your business partners right from the beginning. That's something that we did here. We brought in all of our retailers at the beginning and we created our commercial program around them with their input. And as I said, they, right from the beginning, they knew what to deliver, when to deliver it. And as I said, we were successful because of that. So start early and involve everyone.
Inclusivity, therefore, was pivotal to YVR's overall success during the Olympics. This was matched, as you've heard, by their continued investment programme, of which the C Pier extension is just one example. Here's Gerard Lim. Well, Gerard, here we are right in the middle of the observation deck area, which sits atop the brand new pre-security food and beverage development here. It's a $30 million development. What were the reasons behind it?
Well, Peter, this area is very important for us because it serves more than 50% of YVR's traffic. So about 9 million people go through this facility. What happened is we always wanted to create a new segment of the market, bring the community over to YVR and spend the day. And here, with the Canada line, it was easier to do that because it's only 20 minutes downtown and the surrounding areas they can come in. And right here you can see right now the families are here, and we have storyboards all around the observation area where they tell about the surrounding area, they tell about aviation, and also tell a story of what's happening there on the airfield. In interactive kiosks, the children can come and fly an aircraft over through to British Columbia and the surrounding area. So it's been a big success in terms of bringing the community and serving the employee market together with our traveling customers.
It's a good retail offer downstairs as well. I mean, and there's plenty of room for growth too. I mean, who are the major players downstairs featured?
Well, in terms of retail, it's HDS, who has books and music, and Hudson News have a totally new retail offering. They cover from newsstands to regional giftware and also a baggage store. And in terms of food and beverage, we have 7 units, all branded or locally well known throughout the food court area. And in fall of this year, we will have expanded a full-service restaurant together with a bar, 50% by 50% of its size. So a pretty interesting and exciting area. So the beauty about the area here is that it's so accessible from the main retail street area, going through the newsstand and several other retail stores to the food court area. And from the food court as well, you can see the offering of retail.
Yeah, it's interesting how you've developed this because the new link extension, which is a sort of astonishing piece of architecture, appears seamless from where you were previously. It just works. I mean, you've got fantastic total. Your sense of place and sense of architecture remains a constant here.
Absolutely. Now, we have steel and glass like all airports, but what we have is out there. You see the mountains, you see the sky, you see the ocean, and that's what ties into our surrounding beauty into the terminal building.
One of the interesting dimensions of YVR is the increasingly changing profile of your travelling passengers. I mean, what we're bearing witness to are a lot more Chinese coming through the airport, as well as Indians from the Punjabi area. How have you adapted to this new sort of change in demographic profile?
Well, you know, Peter, this year, in conjunction with the Games, our Prime Minister visited China, and we have been given approved vaccination status with China, and that we feel will bring the middle tier of the Chinese travelers, which we are very excited with. Canada is multicultural, and Vancouver has always been considered the gateway to the Pacific.
You've also done something about the connectivity for passengers travelling to Europe, haven't you, in terms of lags?
That's right. We have championed the fact of connecting passengers buying lags items, and we are the first airport in Canada to actually implement a secured bag whereby the items can be placed so that connecting passengers going through to Europe can purchase.
A tremendous amount of progress then for YVR to date. Finally, I asked Sue Stiene what was next on the agenda.
Well, next is our AB Pier, which is our low-cost carrier pier. We are just in the process right now of looking at different concepts for the area and coming up with a design. I anticipate that that'll happen sometime 2011, 2012. And so we'll be kind of focusing on that area, but we'll never let our eyes off of this actual area. We want to continue to focus and keep making it better. We've got lots of plans for entertainment. We really believe that entertainment it is a success story here, that when people don't have the stress and they're enjoying themselves, that they will typically spend more money. So we have the idea to put some concept and some work into that. So we'll be going back and looking at all of the various piers and trying to keep up with what's going on in those various markets.